Imagine this. A hot-headed car dealership manager kicks out an unsuspecting older man, only to realize that the man is none other than the new owner of the entire business. You won't believe how one impulsive act of arrogance flips everything upside down. Stick around till the end to see how this one move changes everything. At Horizon Motors, the morning hustle and bustle was in full swing. The sales team hurriedly shuffled papers, updated the inventory board, and greeted the customers that came through the door. But behind the front lines, a different kind of energy was brewing, one filled with stress, tension, and a touch of fear. Greg Hastings, the dealership manager, stood at the heart of the madness, barking orders like a drill sergeant. His sharp eyes flicked across the room, lashing out at an employee for mistakenly misplacing a brochure. "We're not here to babysit customers or each other. Keep moving, people. This is about selling, not slacking off." Emma, a junior salesperson, quietly whispered to her coworker, "Jake, I swear, one of these days, Greg's going to yell at the wrong person." Jake, always the joker, smirked and replied, "If that happens, I'll grab some popcorn." Just as their light-hearted conversation was unfolding, Greg's booming voice erupted from across the room, cutting through the chatter. "What are you two gossiping about? Get back to work." Emma and Jake, rolling their eyes, quickly scattered to avoid his wrath. And then, like clockwork, the door's chime rang. An older man entered, wearing a rugged leather jacket, faded jeans, and a cowboy hat that sat low over his weathered face. His boots clicked softly on the tile as he walked with deliberate slowness, pausing here and there to admire the cars. Emma, always eager to greet customers, smiled warmly and approached him. "Good morning, sir. Welcome to Horizon Motors. Can I help you find anything today?" The man looked at her with a faint, almost amused smile. "Just browsing for now," he said, his voice calm and steady. Emma nodded politely. "Of course. Feel free to ask if you have any questions." Meanwhile, Greg, who had been observing from his office, narrowed his eyes as he saw the man aimlessly wandering around the showroom, seemingly uninterested in buying anything. After a few moments of watching, Greg could feel his impatience building. He stormed out of his office, practically marching toward the older man. "Excuse me, sir," Greg barked, his tone sharp. "Are you looking to buy a car today?" The man turned to face him, his calm blue eyes meeting Greg's fiery glare, without flinching. "Not sure yet," he answered, his voice as steady as ever. Greg, growing more irritated, crossed his arms over his chest. "Well, this isn't a place for window shopping, you know. We're running a business here, not a museum. If you're not serious about buying, I suggest you head somewhere else." Emma, overhearing the exchange, nervously stepped forward, trying to calm the situation. "Greg, I think he's just taking his time," she offered, but Greg wasn't having it. He snapped, "I don't need your input, Emma. Go deal with a paying customer." The older man didn't respond to Greg's outburst. Instead, he tipped his hat slightly, his face betraying a hint of amusement. "All right, I'll leave," he said, his voice calm. The room fell silent as he slowly turned to walk out. Just then, the sound of a sleek black SUV pulling into the lot broke the silence. The vehicle gleamed under the morning sun, its polished surface reflecting the light in a way that made it almost appear to shine like a star. The SUV stopped abruptly, and out stepped Mr. Harrison, the regional director of Horizon Motors. He straightened his tie as he strode into the showroom, his sharp eyes scanning the room. But when his gaze landed on the older man near the door, his face lit up with sudden recognition. "Mr. Eastwood," Harrison exclaimed, his voice filled with excitement as he hurried over with his hand outstretched. "It's an honor to meet you, sir. I didn't expect you this early." Greg froze, a look of disbelief spreading across his face. "Wait, Eastwood? As in, Clint Eastwood?" The older man, now revealed to be Clint Eastwood, extended his hand with a faint, knowing smile. "Yes," he confirmed, his voice as calm and composed as ever. Harrison, in total awe, couldn't believe it. "Clint Eastwood," he repeated in shock, while Greg stood there, his face turning a shade of red as he realized the gravity of his mistake. Turning to face the staff, Clint not only revealed his true identity but also dropped a bombshell. He was the new owner of Horizon Motors. He had purchased the entire chain just last week. A collective gasp echoed through the room. Emma's jaw hung open in shock. Jake let out a low whistle under his breath. Meanwhile, Greg's face drained of color, his confidence shattering in an instant. Greg stammered, I didn't realize. Clint, maintaining a calm expression but with a sharpness in his tone, addressed him directly. Didn't realize what, son? That respect costs nothing? Or that judging people based on their appearance is bad for business? Greg's apology came out in a rush. I'm sorry, Mr. Eastwood. I didn't mean any disrespect. Clint raised a hand, silencing him immediately. Actions speak louder than words, he said firmly. Harrison, now visibly irritated, clapped Greg on the shoulder. Greg, a word in my office.
Now.
As Greg shuffled off to face the music, Clint turned his attention to the rest of the staff. His voice, calm but authoritative, carried easily across the room. Folks, I came here today to see how this place runs. What I've witnessed so far isn't just disappointing, it's unacceptable. The employees exchanged nervous glances, unsure of what was coming next. Clint didn't waste time. I believe in running a business where respect is at the core, respect for both customers and employees alike. From now on, Horizon Motors is going to operate with integrity. If any of you aren't on board with that, you know where the door is. Emma, stepping forward with some hesitation, spoke up. Mr. Eastwood, I just wanted to say that not all of us agree with how Greg handles things. Some of us are really trying to make this a better place. Clint's faint smile showed approval. I can see that, Mississippi. And I appreciate it. What's your name? Emma, she replied, blushing slightly. Well, Emma, Clint said, his smile widening just a touch. Keep up the good work. People like you are the future of this business. In Harrison's office, Greg sat with his head in his hands, feeling the weight of Clint's judgment. Harrison didn't hold back in delivering a scathing review of Greg's behavior. By the end of the meeting, Greg's punishment was swift and severe. He was demoted to a smaller, struggling dealership on the outskirts of town. It was a harsh but deserved consequence. Meanwhile, Clint saw potential in Emma. Her kind demeanor and her willingness to stand up for what was right made her the perfect candidate for a leadership role. So, he made her the new manager of Horizon Motors. Over the next few months, the dealership underwent a complete transformation. Clint became a regular visitor, working closely with the staff to create a positive, customer-focused culture. The toxic environment that Greg had built was replaced by a new sense of teamwork, respect, and a shared purpose. One afternoon, as Clint was preparing to leave after another successful visit, Emma approached him. Mr. Eastwood, I just wanted to thank you for everything. This place feels like a completely different world now. Clint tipped his hat and smiled. It's not about me, Emma. It's about people like you who care enough to make a difference. Keep up the good work. As Clint walked out to his car, the staff gathered by the showroom windows, watching him with newfound admiration. They couldn't help but feel proud of the changes that had taken place under his leadership. Months later, Horizon Motors was thriving like never before. Under Emma's leadership, the staff worked together with purpose, and the dealership earned a stellar reputation for its outstanding customer service and positive atmosphere. One day, Clint returned to check on the progress. As he walked through the showroom, Emma greeted him with a beaming smile. Mr. Eastwood, you'll be happy to know that we just broke our all-time sales record this month. Clint grinned, his face lighting up. That's what happens when people respect each other and work as a team. He paused to take in the sight of the bustling showroom. The camaraderie, the teamwork, everything he had worked so hard to cultivate was right before his eyes. Before leaving, he turned to the team and said, Remember, success isn't just about selling cars. It's about building trust. Keep doing what you're doing, and you'll go far. The staff clapped and cheered, their spirits lifted by Clint's words. As he exited the building, they knew he had left behind a legacy that would continue to inspire them for years to come. Thanks for watching. If you love this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our next fascinating tale. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.